high above the Potomac wilderness, a new day begins. Far below, the river still sleeps. Morning mist hangs over George Washington's Mount Vernon. Washington loves this Potomac country. Here on the river's wooded banks, he has found a site for his great dream, a new federal capital. Together with Thomas Jefferson, he envisions a noble column city rising on these untamed shores. To help determine the exact position of the unbuilt capital, a lonely observer in his tent beside the river records the movement of celestial bodies. He is Benjamin Banneker, mathematician, farmer, self-taught astronomer. Banneker is the scientific assistant of Major Andrew Ellicott, sent to set boundaries for the new District of Columbia. Can this tangled thicket, this swamp, this farmland ever become a city? The center of the great American experiment in self-government and human freedom? Jenkins Hill, site chosen for the Capitol building by Pierre L'Enfant, French architect commissioned to lay out the city's grand plan. In his mind's eye, what noble vistas are summoned up. What classical temples arrayed along broad avenues. How skillfully L'Enfant uses the land's natural features in laying out his complex system of streets and avenues. From any quarter, inevitably he will draw one to the Capitol building, center of the city, heart of the nation. L'Enfant sets out a great green mall, an elegant carriageway to connect the Capitol with the Executive Mansion. Now the public competition to design the President's house. Thomas Jefferson submits a drawing anonymously, and it is rejected. First prize to James Hoban. His presidential house will be built on the site chosen by L'Enfant. From here, L'Enfant's great ceremonial Pennsylvania Avenue will stretch to the Capitol. And now, the country's architects compete to design the Capitol building itself. None of them pleases Washington or Jefferson. But 3 months after the competition, William Thornton, a physician and amateur architect, submits his design. Thornton proposes one wing for the Senate and the Supreme Court, joined by a central rotunda, to another wing for the House of Representatives. President Washington praises its grandeur, simplicity, and convenience. Jefferson says Thornton's plan has captivated the eyes and judgment of all. And now from nearby Virginia, granite for the foundations, sandstone for the walls. September 18th. 1793. President Washington lays the cornerstone of the Capitol. The Treasury has funds for only one wing, but there proudly it stands. Autumn 1800. The government moves from Philadelphia to Washington. Congressmen arrive. they are greeted by mud and stonemasons at work. At the first joint session of Congress, hope that piety and virtue will dwell here is expressed by President John Adams. Adams and his wife, Abigail, are the first to occupy the new presidential mansion. The house is grand, she writes, but the country round is a wild wilderness at present. The desperately needed second wing of the Capitol is completed, but an empty central space still waits to be filled. The Capitol is growing, but the vision of freedom is still unfulfilled. Early compromises leave the cruel question of slavery to future generations. The first Capitol building of a nation dedicated to freedom is built largely with the help of slaves. 1814, a new war with England. Washington is invaded. The Capitol is burned. The building's interior is gutted. Only the walls are left standing. The city's morale is shattered. And the White House too, is a charred ruin. Many demand that the government abandon Washington, but the decision is made. Rebuild. Near the burnt-out White House stands St. John's Church. Its architect, Benjamin Henry Latrobe, is asked to restore the damaged White House. He adds a Palladian south portico. Latrobe also draws revised plans for the Capitol building. Congress, after 5 years in cramped temporary quarters, returns to Latrobe's redesigned chamber of the House. Evening sessions are held by candlelight. In this temple, as in the hearts of the people for whom he saved the Union, the memory of Abraham Lincoln is enshrined forever. Today, the Capitol building still dominates the city from what was once Jenkins Hill. Through the years, the Capitol has become the great symbol of a people's passionate determination to govern themselves, to defend their freedom, and to implement their belief in the rights of the individual and in the equality of all men. The Capitol building extends broad, welcoming flights of stairs. Its lofty pediments, its noble colonnades, enclose an area rich in memories and powerful in symbolism, not only for Americans, but for all men everywhere. Here, the nation's great are honored. Here we may contemplate our past, and here we may raise up our hopes for the days that lie ahead.